What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are doing another instance of
Nonsense Rumble.
I'm your host, as always, Devon, and as you just heard, we've got Rick.
Hello, everybody.
So today's episode is going to be an interesting one, I suspect. For those of you unfamiliar with the formula, which is a totally original formula and not stolen from anyone, we pick a character each that fit into the category of the day, and then we discuss what would happen if they came to blows, who would win in an imaginary confrontation. There are a few rules to this bout, such as...
Well, you can't have the if clause, so if you need a vibranium something to kill someone, then you don't have it.
Yeah. So unless it's a regular part of their moveset, of course. If you pick Steve Rogers, he has his vibranium shield.
Yeah, he has his shield. Wolverine has the metal on his claws. He doesn't get it taken off like he does in that one story arc with the bone claws.
Yeah, like the better example is the argument with Batman is if Batman has prep time, he always wins. Well, Batman doesn't have prep time, therefore you've got to use a different argument.
But he does have his utility belt.
Absolutely.
So whatever he would normally take out on a normal day, like batarangs and smoke grenades and the grappling hook.
Yeah, so bog standard gear. Like Batman in specifically is a fuck, because there are regular times when he will just make something specifically to counter the villain he knows he's fighting.
Yeah, and sometimes he just has it, like the anti-shark spray.
No, that's Adam West bullshit, which is great and funny, but you know. We also subscribe to the Stan Lee model of crossover fights, and that is who wins if Superman fights Goku. Well, depends who's writing it, who's their favourite character. We know we're biased, you don't need to tell us. You're probably also a bit biased, and that's fine.
Yeah, feel free to tell us how wrong we are in the comments.
Absolutely, it's part of the fun. Now then, Rick, we've got a category for today. It's a fun category. What is it?
We're doing VTubers, and we're going by their in-law depictions.
Yes.
The power level based on their initial design.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, Rick, do you have an honourable mention for me?
My main honourable mention is Kiara, because if she wins, if she dies, she just comes back. However, dying, I would say, puts an end to the bout.
Also, when she comes back, she has to take time to learn everything again, which means she doesn't know why she's fighting, which means the fight is almost definitely over.
Yeah, my other honourable mention is Crony, because, yes, she can stop time, but when she stops time, the time on the bout just stops, and, yeah. So she's got infinite time to do whatever she likes.
Okay, Rick, I'm going to remind you, when in future, honourable mention is left to one each at most.
Okay. So, do you have honourable mentions?
I do. My honourable mention is Marine, because I love Marine. I think she's awesome. I, however, do not think she would stand a chance against many of her compatriots, given their lore.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yes, let's get to brass tacks, Rick. Who is your actual pick for today?
My winner is Callie, because she's the Reaper, and she can just choose not to reap herself if she starts to lose.
Well, that's assuming her boss doesn't get involved.
Oh yeah, Death Sensei. But Death Sensei has a soft spot for her.
I'm sure, but when it's your time, it's your time.
True. So yeah, Callie is very skilled with the scythe swinging. So even without being Death, she can normally just kill people with a scythe. And man, I've just seen her in animations that people have made, and they just make her look so cool. But yeah, how about you? Who's going to be your pick this time?
Yeah, my pick is Crony, because there's no more OP power than Zawaldo.
Yeah. That's why she was going to be an honourable mention if I had more than one. And yeah, they're both incredibly OP characters. So
yeah, this is going to be a tough one, because it comes down to, we know Crony has control over time to a certain degree. We know not Kiara, sorry, my apologies. We know Callie has the ability over death. Those are two strong elements.
Yeah, I'm gonna say...
Is there anything in Callie's lore that makes her immune to time stoppage?
I don't think so, other than the fact that she's immortal and beyond the passage of time.
Immortality puts a bit of a kink in the plan, because I think Crony is also technically immortal.
Oh yeah, totally immortal. Like, she's the warden of time. Now here's the thing. How do you define time? Do you define it as always having existed, or do you define it as only having existed since it was defined?
I don't know what Crony's particular usage is, because it's almost implied that Crony only matters as far as human recognition of time exists. However, we don't know that for definite, do we? Because it could just be time full stop, in which case time's always existed. Who thought we'd have a philosophical debate on our VTuber bullshit talk?
Yeah, however, Callie is Death's first apprentice rather other than being death itself. So she doesn't go back as far as the first organism to have been classified as life and then to have died.
I'll tell you this, Rick. We've got a real classic unstoppable force meeting an immovable object here.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I don't think either could technically beat the other. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think we've got another stalemate, so I think it's another coin time.
Rick, do you want to flip it this time?
Alrighty, let's go on the Google. I'll flip a coin.
Right, I'll call it now heads.
Okay, Callie's tails. Oh, it came out as tails.
Alright, so in this instance, we're going to give it to Callie. However, much with the Pokemon fight, it came down to the wire. It's tough to choose between the two. Again, immortality might actually be a flaw in our system.
Yeah, because, like, sometimes it's really obvious that, okay, the immortal person that got buried under infinity bricks can't get out. But in this case, yeah, Crony can try and kill Callie, and it just doesn't happen. Callie can try and kill Crony, and she just stops time, so it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, even though they're both very offense-based characters, their defense is OP.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. I actually don't think Crony would be able to defeat Callie. I think Crony is just good enough at not being defeated herself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, kicking the can down the road for the length of any old fight bout. Yeah, she can do it for the length of any old fight, but overall, Callie might win anyway. Which, you know, it makes the coin flip accurate.
Yeah. Like again, saying offense for Crony, I think her moveset is very much dedicated to, you know, keeping herself alive and out of harm's way in the first place.
Yeah, well, I think, like, time stop is the way that you use a defensive ability offensively, because, like, yeah, the time stop itself doesn't do any damage, but everything else you do inside the time does things.
Yeah.
Unless you get to delete time.
Yeah, I just don't think Crony has the heart to do it. I'll put it that way.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm happy enough to chalk it up to Callie this time.
Yeah, which means I can't pick Callie for a rapper fight.
Well, I also can't pick Crony for a fight down the line, so it's like, yeah, swings and roundabout. That being said, if I want a time stop character, it's gonna be either Dio or Jotaro.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Callie firmly the winner. Join us again next week for another category.
Bye, everybody.